Abundance is my birthright. Wealth comes to me from many sources. I allow myself to be blessed with abundance. I release any negative thoughts about money. I attract abundance. I use money wisely. Accumulating money comes easily to me. It is my pleasure to manage the money that flows to me. I always have more money than I need. I have a magnetic attraction to money. Today is filled with opportunities and I will seize them. My life is abundant. I deserve wealth. I attract money with positive energy. I am grateful for the money I have. My wealth grows daily. I create abundance and share it freely with the world. I am generous with money as I have more than enough. I use my money to make a difference in the world. I deserve prosperity. Wealth flows to me in streams of abundance. I think, talk, and walk like I am wealthy. I am magnetic to money, and it is magnetic to me. There are no boundaries to how much money I will attract into my life. I will always be able to attract more money. Money is energy, and I vibrate on the same frequency. I allow abundance in all areas of my life. I am grateful for all that I have and receive. The only limit to my abundance is my mindset. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I see myself as wealthy, and that is what I am. Whatever I produce successfully attracts money to me. I am deserving of the prosperity that I want to have. I enjoy providing money with a good home. Abundance flows to me. My wealth multiplies and generates more wealth. I have the right to become wealthy and have whatever I want. People enjoy giving me money. I desire wealth. I use my wealth to make the world a better place. I relinquish all opposition to gaining financial resources. I am confident to overcome any financial difficulties that may arise. In my financial endeavors, I am fearless. Wealth and prosperity are circulating in my life. I live abundantly. My ideas create wealth for me. I give away wealth wisely and it circulates back to me in abundance. I do not have to work to attract money. I have an abundance of whatever I need. Abundance and harmony flow freely in my world. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly, even while I sleep. I am successful and abundant in every way. Money flows to me. I deserve more money. I accept and receive unanticipated money. I welcome financial abundance in my life. My money is unlimited. Every day, I attract more and more money. I use money to design the lifestyle I want to live. It is in my power to have an excellent financial future. I love attracting money. Wealth is circulating in my life. I am open to receiving wealth. I am successful in everything I do. Money is my servant. I am good at managing money, and I do it well. I have moved one step closer to reaching my financial.
Freedom is truly the thing that we're all searching for.
Financial news, trading, and investing all in one place, but also in a language and in words and cultural references that you can actually understand.
And this is one of the reasons why I'm super excited about the Money Matrix.
Done by people who actually do it, who actually live it, and who are actually professionals.
Because we're going to be showing you how to actually make money on your own terms whenever you want.
So, I encourage you to join us on the Money Matrix, where you can learn, potentially earn, and return that knowledge and game and potentially money to your family.
And that is truly what we all want. It's not more money, it's actually freedom.
Look at the camera. Good morning and welcome to the Money Matrix. I am Dion Pouncil.
I'm Dominique Broadway. Welcome to another very exciting day in the markets. Also, always please remember that investing and trading should happen at your own risk. So please do your own research before making any trading or investing decision.
Yes, and so maybe you've heard this before and maybe it sounds like a broken record, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished at a record all-time high on yesterday.
Yay.
Before all the markets went red in the afternoon. So the Dow ended up 125 points or 0.33%, hitting a record high of 38,797. The NASDAQ and the S&P both fell slightly, 0.03% and 0.09% respectively. Now, looking ahead, investors and the Federal Reserve will be watching Tuesday for January Consumer Pricing Index that just came out at 8:30 this morning. And most of the markets, pre-market and the futures, were down overnight since yesterday and the London session this morning, and went down even more off of that news. So we will keep our eyes on how that affecting the market when the market opens.
Wow, exciting stuff here. All right, so we have quite a bit of news coming up today, or has already happened and also still in the progress of happening, where it's surrounding the topic of earnings. As you guys know, we had a lot of companies that started releasing their earnings yesterday evening till tomorrow morning. One of the ones I want to highlight that actually released their earnings this morning is Hasbro. Okay, so Hasbro released their earnings. It says their stock has actually plunged after another profit miss. So they had super downbeat sales outlook. They fell down about 11.9%. So they are currently trading around $48.50. So they're down. They originally were down about 15%. Actually, they were actually previously down 15%. And now they're only down about 5.42%. They are actually starting to trend up a little bit. But apparently, you know, I guess they're the makers of, I had to look this up. I'm like, so what does Hasbro make, right? So Monopoly, My Little Pony, Play-Doh, Transformers. So I guess, you know, their sales have been okay, but I can honestly say, you know, people aren't buying those brands as much as they used to. I know I feel like we buy Play-Doh every month, but a lot of these other brands just, you know, necessarily aren't as big as they were. So they're probably going to have to figure out a way to really rejuge that brand there.
Okay, so taking off in other news, shares of JetBlue spiked 15% on the upside in extended trading this morning as active investor Carl Icahn reported he was taking nearly a 10% stake in the company. Icahn, who accumulated these positions over January and the first half of February, says that the airline's stock is undervalued. And over the past 12 months, JetBlue stock has fallen more than 27%. Now, it's not Icahn's first venture to the airline industry in the 1980s. He took TWA private, but later that airline struggled and it went bankrupt. So we will keep our eye on it because this news comes right after the CEO of JetBlue said that the carrier was facing issues with profits, cost control, and reliability.
Yeah. I think I was mentioning this last week. I was actually really surprised. I have been surprised as we have been looking at a lot of these airline stocks, like how cheap the prices are. I mean, some of them are trading around $7, $8, $9. And, you know, for the average everyday investor, they feel like something like an airline stock that's been around for forever, right, wouldn't be trading so low, but it is. In other news, we just had a breaking news that actually just came through. Paramount Global just announced that they're going to be laying off about 800 employees a day after announcing their record Super Bowl ratings. And so we actually watched the Super Bowl on Paramount
Plus.
Paramount Plus. That's also where you watch Billions.
Yeah, Billions, my favorite show.
Right? But yeah, they actually just announced they're laying off people. So those layoff stories are continuing for sure.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Paramount Global owns BT, they own VH1, they own MTV, they own Paramount, obviously, they own Showtime.
Yeah.
So a lot of different ventures that they own. Now, this is also, again, they have a Super Bowl deal. Super Bowl was just the most watched television show in history, which was the record news.
Wow.
But also,
first of all, that's so good for Usher.
Yeah, that's dope, because Usher killed it for sure.
Yeah.
But African-American billionaire Byron Scott offered to purchase Paramount Global just about a week or two ago because they were struggling. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen. We've been talking about the media wars and things of that nature. So we'll keep our eye on Paramount because Amazon just announced that they secured a TV right deal with the NFL they have the 1 day a week, the Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, but they just secured one playoff slot for next season. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. Are the, NFL going to be split across all these networks? Are they going to do a deal with ESPN and that new venture? Are they going to stay on Fox and CBS, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So all these things have direct impact on the underlying P&L for these companies, which it affects their stocks.
Interesting here.
Yeah.
So in other news, going back to some of our earnings, we had a few earnings that came out last night after the closing bell. A lot of them did not do the way that I honestly thought that they were going to go. One that I wasn't even really thinking about, but apparently we probably are using very frequently is waste management, right? Waste management, the people that pick up our trash. there apparently is no shortage of trash. I can see that. I know that's definitely Dion's probably biggest complaint in our house, that he takes trash out with seems like twice a day. Okay, if anyone has a family, and we have 2 trash, it's crazy. Anyway, it's a lot of trash. So I'm sure Waste Management clearly is doing very well. They beat their earnings. They had a great Q4 in the waste management business. They're actually up about 1.84%, which is about $3.46. And now they're trading around $1.91. They got up as high as $1.94 overnight. So shout out to Waste Management for holding us down and keeping our trash out of the house.
Yes. Yeah. So if you were around for yesterday's entertaining show, one of the things I called out yesterday was the Bitcoin buy, and Bitcoin has hit over $50,000 yesterday. So we called it was around 48,000, and it hit 50,000 yesterday. Right now it's currently trading at about 49,250. But that is the record high since 2021. It is its highest level. So a lot of people believe that it is being helped by a variety of factors, such as uptrending overall stock market in America, relaxing in monetary policy in China, and people in America feeling less and less worried about a overall recession. Okay, so we will keep our eye on Bitcoin, on crypto, and if looking at exposure outside of buying crypto directly, other ETFs that have hit the market recently, and see how the crypto craze continues to move.
Interesting, very interesting there. We have in a few other, actually, there's a couple different news stories here. One being NVIDIA. They didn't release their earnings, but they did announce yesterday that they're going to be unveiling a AI chatbot that's for PCs, but is powered by its own GPUs. Now, this, I think, initially took the stock up when they announced this news, but the whole market is down right now. So they're actually down about $17. But interested to see, depending on how the market goes, if that does cause their stock to go up a little bit further today. But they are currently, down. Okay. In other news, as far as earnings goes, is Marriott. All right. So Marriott International released their earnings this morning, and a little bit surprisingly, because I know that leisure travel for fun is up, but also business travel as well has been up pretty substantially. As well, also heard that Uber had record black car sales over the last quarter, which is a great indication that stocks are, corporate travel is back. But Marriott actually is down $9.29 pre-market. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily from their earnings or just from the market in general being down, but just wanted to highlight that, as that was another one that I know many of us had our eyes out on as well. Okay, want to highlight one more earnings, actually 2 more, and I can't remember if I mentioned this one just yet, and that is Shopify and Datadog. All right, so Datadog released their earnings this morning before the opening bell, and they are actually down $8.65. Okay, it looks like their earnings actually weren't bad. I'm starting to think that some of this might just be because the market's down, but it says essentially that Datadog, they did great with their earnings, but they had weak guidance, right? So they basically expressed that they weren't super confident in Q1. I hate when they do that. Just say what you did good in Q4. We don't need to hear about Q1 just yet, right? Messing up our thing here. So Datadog's actually down 6.34%, and they are down that's about $8.58. Another one that we had our eyes out on, which I'm also disappointed in, is Shopify. Shopify released their earnings, and they exceeded all Q4 expectations, which I totally anticipated, which we talked about. So they exceeded all Q4 expectations. I think they might just be a little bit victim of the down day that we're currently in, but they are actually down about 11.92%, about $10.62 currently. So definitely hoping that does start to get a rebound, because this drop is literally not reflective of the great Q4 that they had. So, yeah.
All right, so the Dow futures fell 300 points after hotter than expected U.S. inflation data. So now that leads us to our Beat the Bell segment, where we're going to be looking at the global news, what happened overnight in the overseas markets, pre-markets here, and as we do our analysis. Yesterday, we were pretty spot on we're calling the mixed early morning and the sell-off that was projected to come, and it sold off. Okay. So, all right, let's hop, kicking it off with Asia and seeing what happened in the Asian markets. All right. So the Asian Dow up 0.9%, the Nikkei up 2.89%, the Hang Seng Index down 0.83%, the Shanghai Index up 1.28%, the Sensex Index up 0.68%, and the Singapore Index being up 0.1%.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. U.S. equities this morning, how are they doing? So our Dow is currently up 0.33%. S&P 500 is down 0.09%. Our NASDAQ is currently down 0.30%, and our VIX is up they're actually up 4.52%. I don't think I've seen the VIX that high in a while.
Yeah, it was up yesterday.
And then gold is currently down 0.88%, and oil is down 0.87%. So, yeah, tell us about these futures.
So seeming like a potentially another red day in the markets with the VIX being up that 4.59%. That's up about 1.25% higher than it was yesterday. And no surprise right now, the Dow Jones futures are down 1%. The S&P 500 futures are down 1.39%. The NASDAQ futures are down 1.84%. Gold being down 0.9%. Silver being down 1.74%. And crude oil being up 0.92%. Now, hopping right over into the Forex. So it looks like the futures market are down. Pre-market seems they've been down since yesterday, and the VIX is showing up. So maybe a completely red day or initial sell-off in the morning. It gets lower. People think it's undervalued, and then they might start buying it up. We'll see when we dive into the charts. Okay. The euro is down 0.49%. The yen is up 0.67%. The Great British pound is down 0.17%. The Australian dollar is down 0.83%. The DXY index is up 0.64%, and the Wall Street Journal dollar index is up 0.53%. And rounding it out in the crypto markets.
All right, Bitcoin is currently down 1.81%. All right, Ethereum is currently up 0.34%, and XRP is down 1.83%. Bitcoin Cash is currently also down 3.20%. Litecoin is down 3.66%, and Monero is up 0.97%. All right.
Okay, now let's go ahead and hop into the charts and do some pre-market analysis and see what we potentially see in the markets. Hopefully you guys caught some of those calls we called out yesterday, some early morning buys, some midday and afternoon sales, and rode those rides. We also called out Bitcoin yesterday for that bullish move. So let's see. All right.
Let's see.
Hopping into the futures charts. We'll start off with the 1 day on the NASDAQ. We can see it has been charging up. It did meet resistance at that third standard deviation level, as I called out yesterday, saying that, hey, a lot of these things are showing record highs and all-time highs, etc.
Not only that, trade here.
Oh, nice. Not only that, but it was also some of these things were at record highs, but they were also at their third standard deviations. So stepping down into the 2-hour chart, we can see a strong sell-off on the NASDAQ starting yesterday at 3 o'clock. Okay. And actually a really strong sell-off started really around like the 1 o'clock hour on yesterday. Yeah, right here, this initial sell-off happening at 1 o'clock, and then another sell-off happening at 3. Okay, and then also at 3 this morning, the London market came in and tanked the market probably another 100 points. So as we can see, The NASDAQ futures are trending down, the 1 hour and the 2 hour both showing a down. So we will see if and when it gets some support, and we will check our standard deviations soon for that. Hopping into the interest rates, all right, the 1 day of the interest rates have been trending down. The 2 hour at a pretty substantial buy signal at the 8 o'clock hour. And then, yes, so the interest rates have been trending down as well. All right, so sell side bias for NASDAQ / the equities, sell side bias for the 10 years / the interest rates. Hopping down into the metals, looking at gold. 1 day has been trending down for the last 4 days. 2 hour sales signal and 1 hour in the sales signal. So sell side on gold, and then rounded out in the energy markets. Starting out on the 1 day, oil is trending up for the last 4 days, trending up for 2 hours since yesterday at 10 o'clock, and is currently consolidating right now, but in the middle of a buy signal. So sell side bias on equities, metals, and interest rates, and buy side bias on the energies. We will see. That's how we're going to approach it for the open, and we will adjust accordingly. But right now, for the open and throughout the day, it seems to be down for the equities, interest rates, and metals, and up for the energies. What are you seeing over there for the options market, Dominique?
All right. So currently, as far as options go, I am eyeing a lot of the companies that have released their earnings last night, wanting to see how they're going to react to the market open, and obviously just keeping our eyes open for any additional buy or sell signals that we are coming across. This should actually be a really fun day in the market. It is going to be a down day in the market, but I think it's fun to prove to you that we can make money when the market goes up or down. And today's going to be another one of those days to do that. Okay. The first one I'm looking at right now is Shopify. As I mentioned, I'm personally in calls on Shopify, so I will be holding those calls on Shopify, but looking for other opportunities, with it potentially as the market opens. So those earnings have technically come out. Shopify's higher costs likely to hit profit margins. Okay. But as you can see, we are currently in a sell signal right here for Shopify. Let me know in the chat if anyone is in Shopify or any of these other stocks that we talked about yesterday as far as earnings goes. Okay. So we are currently in this sell signal right here on the 1 minute. The 3, what time is it right now? 9:24. As you can see, still sell side here. So there could be some opportunity to ride this down a little bit further. But for these, I would like to wait and see how the market reacts at the open, especially a lot of times with these earnings. They can what they be doing behind the scenes, but they can shift real quick. Okay. Another one that I want to keep my eyes out on here is, definitely NVIDIA. As you guys know, that's something that I trade all the time. We did receive a sell signal here on NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is currently down about $17.67. The news that came out about their new chatbots, actually, technically, if this was a normal market condition day, it would have made the stock go up, but it didn't. The stock is still down about $17. I know I had some calls on it yesterday, was able to get very profitable in those, so that was great. But definitely looking for opportunities on the sales side. But I would like personally to wait until the market opens. So I'll just kind of go over the ones that I am eyeing. All right, but we do have a sales signal that just came through. NVIDIA right here. All right, another that we are keeping our eyes out on is Datadog. Here we go. Datadog. All right, so Datadog is another that released their earnings, I believe, this morning before the market opened. And as you can see, we did just receive a buy signal right here on this 3-minute chart. Let me look at the 1 minute chart. On the 1 minute chart, it is actually starting to trend up. Datadog was down as low as 110. Is this accurate? Yeah, about $110.69. Okay, now we got this buy signal right here at 710, and it did start to trend up a little bit from the earnings actually being released. It looked like the stock just fell in anticipation and then literally started to kind of rise back up. We've received multiple buy and sell signals over the last really hour and a half. And when we have this buy signal that just came through at 9:18, okay? It's currently 9:26. So we had a buy signal that came through at 9:18. It looks like Datadog is starting to trend back up in advance, after the earnings. So we'll keep our eyes out on Datadog as well. Another one that I want to keep our eyeballs on is Marriott. Okay, Marriott, as I mentioned, they beat their earnings, but why the stock is falling anyways, I don't know. We got to see. It may have been on future outlook, maybe for Q1. Maybe a lot of times in Q1 is probably like the quarter that's not the busiest when it comes to travel. Could be busier with corporate travel, but leisure travel, bless you, probably isn't the busiest. I know when I had a normal 9 to 5, I feel like I would use my whole year worth of time off by like February 15th, okay? Because my birthday was in January, my mom's birthday in February, and I'm like, oh man, now I gotta work the rest of the year. That's how I knew that work stuff was not gonna work for me, okay? But as you can see, we are currently in a buy signal for Marriott. Marriott is currently down about $6.84. They previously were as low as $237 a share. Now they are trending up. They're up to $242. They are starting to rebound. If anyone has calls or are in any trades as well, okay, with Marriott. I feel like there was one more I had. No, I can't remember who it was. Let me take a quick look at _ELF. I know many of us are still playing around with _ELF. And _ELF done did us wrong, y'all. Last night, I don't know. Come on now. _ELF has, look at this last night. _ELF, what was you doing? _ELF was out partying last night, came in tired, okay? It's down $5.26. It's currently in a buy, so it is trending up. _ELF, you gotta get it together, okay? You gotta get it together, all right? And I did just see a very cute lip gloss that they just released. It's only $7. For Valentine's Day, has a little heart in the middle. I think I'm actually going to purchase it, but I'm going to need them to get their stock back up, all right? Because we were literally breaking even yesterday. So as you can see, we are positioned for a very, I'm going to call it interesting day in the markets and probably fun, all right? This is like our version of Disneyland, right?
Yeah, we get to. Well, yes. Well, no. We're getting the money.
Yeah, we get that's why I said it's cheaper. Disneyland is so expensive.
Yeah, Disneyland is a money pit for sure.
Literally.
Okay, so we're approaching the opening bell here in 1 minute. We are still buy side bullish on crypto. Happening into the crypto charts, 1 day is in a strong buy signal. 2 hour is in a sell. 1 hour is in a sale. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until we get a buy signal on crypto. There's some initial selling off out of that 50. We see a consolidation right there and a sale. But over the long term throughout the day, probably end of the week, I'm going to be looking like buy side bias on Bitcoin, as it is in this strong bull move on the 1 day, and the 1 week is only in its second week of that bull trend. So you could be looking for a short side in the earlier time frames and buy side in the longer time frames. Okay, so we got about 8 seconds here at the opening bell. Let's see if the algos get into any trades here at the opening bell. I'm going to be interested to see. Okay, so we see initial selling pressure coming in on the NASDAQ, some initial buying pressure coming in on the energies, which is what we predicted pre-market. Equities down. We see the metals, we see gold kind of going down, energies going up. So pretty much on pace. Now, I do want to see how low the market goes. Now, standard deviation for the NASDAQ, the second standard deviation is 17,537. So that's, a potential 80-point drop. And the third standard deviation is around 417, which could potentially be around a 200-point drop before some strong support comes in. So I do want to see if the market allows for that tank before a recovery, or if they let all the selling pressure out through the night and look to bounce back off of the second standard deviation and or above the first one. So we'll keep our eye on the equities. The NASDAQ typically leads the equities because it's tech heavy, and the top 7 performing companies in the world, and most of these indexes are technology companies. So as the NASDAQ go, typically the equities go. So we'll keep our eye on that. And we'll go from there. Now, hopping over into the stock market, let's look at our watch list. Okay, so for the newbies that are watching the show, these 20 companies on here are our 2024 picks of the year. And these are ones that we're investing in, bigger picture, long term, and holding 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, or in your legacy playbook. But then also, we can make money in the short term off of them swing trading and day trading, excuse me. Okay, so kicking it off on VTI. Okay, VTI on the 1 day, we see it's trending up, getting a little sell side pressure. All right, the 2 hour is in a sell, and the 1 hour is in a sale. So what I will do is allow this first half of this market, or first half of this half hour, I want to see where the market is around 9:45 to 10 o'clock. That's going to really tell me, what the sentiment is in the overall market. Again, the VIX was up to 4.6% or so. So could be an overall red day. Spiders, same thing. Support on the 1 day, selling off on the 1 hour. Tesla. All right, Tesla in a sell-off. And so most of these have been selling off since the afternoon, so we're going to pretty much see that. But what I'm interested to see is where we start getting some support around these areas. Are you in any trades already, Dom? Or
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So we'll switch over to Dominique. She's already in some trades.
Hold up.
Okay. What I need to do.
Yeah, I'm actually in futures trade. Okay. Okay. Stop. My stop is not allowing me to.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Well,
Good.
yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right. You can switch over. I'll come back. We'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
My screen got
So. All right. So, yeah, Palantir, Microsoft, we can see all of them are pretty much in a sale. We'll just keep walking down so we don't make any estimates. Lockheed Martin. Now, this is interesting, right? We called the Lockheed Martin call yesterday off of that signal at 9:30. We're currently up $293. We risk 120 to get in there. Typically, when the markets are down, defensive stocks are up. That's why it's also good to be diversified. So let's go ahead and lock in 100% return on our investment. So we risk 120, and now we have $120 locked in. Actually, the market is up 318, so we're going to lock in a 200% return on our investment by locking in 240. All right, so if anybody got in that Lockheed Martin call that I called yesterday, congratulations. And if you got in on the calls, congratulations. So worst case scenario, we have a 200% return on our investment from that day trade yesterday. Now, we did start out the market. We got stopped out of Netflix trade. So we got stopped out of our Netflix trade for about $7,000. It kind of toggled between 7,000 and 9,000. The one time it hit 9,000, I didn't adjust the stop loss, so we could have locked in 8,000, but we locked in 7,000 off of that trade. Okay, so pre-market, now we've taken that money off the table. We can see, where did we take that off the table? Netflix. Yep, we literally got filled yesterday on that call out. Okay. All right, so we got stopped out of there. All right, congratulations. We wrote that Netflix trade for about, 2.5 weeks for $7,000. I will take it. All right, and our active trades right now, Lockheed Martin, Nancy, JPY, our Forex trade is starting to take off and gain some momentum. We got into Great British Pound JPY yesterday, and we're up 69 bucks on that. USD JPY, we're up 66 bucks or so on that. And then the USD Great British Pound, we're up about 4 bucks on that. So here are our live trades so far, with Lockheed Martin leading the way, and we got 240 bucks locked into that, okay? All right, stepping through the rest of the watch list, what we're now looking to see is if we're going to have any signals. This came in at 9:30. Okay, so we did get a sell side on JP Morgan at 9:30, so we'll keep our eye for that around 9:45, 10 o'clock, and see if we're still getting some selling pressure, and we can go ahead and enter into that trade. So sell side on JP Morgan. Amazon selling off since the afternoon. See if we got any futures trades. Yep, we did. I had a feeling we got enough futures trade.
Yeah, I've been in one. I had something happened on my screen, but I've been playing around with the futures over here a little bit. So I'm up about 275 in my futures trade. I had put some take profits on there, and that's one thing I do about like take profits. When that joint just shoots up, even if it just touches it, it'll fill. So I was able to like quickly lock in some little profits. So we're up about 233 so far in this futures trade. I saw that we did receive some buy signals on NVIDIA as well. So if anyone is excuse me, trading NVIDIA today, NVIDIA is currently, it's still down, but it's only down $14. When the market opened, it was previously down about 20-something bucks, okay? And then as you can see right here, we are, yep, you're on my screen up here to make sure. We're currently in this futures trade. As y'all know, I'm still diddly-dadding and playing around with my futures, but we had some good buy signals that came in. As you can see, I had some entries and exits here and took some profits. I do have a take profit set, and I do have a stop loss set. Let me tell you why I did that. Because I realized that I do get easily distracted, and sometimes I may forget to adjust the take profit. And I look over and realize this thing done shot up, and I'm over here, I don't know, dreaming about whatever, and totally missed out. So I did set my take profit. I know a lot of times you don't like such a take profit because you don't, miss out on the gains, but I definitely realized that for me, I don't have the focus that Dion has, and so I will just forget, and then it'll just hit my stop loss and realize that, damn, I was up, hundreds of bucks or whatever. So I do have my stop loss set. So we're up about 255 or so. It's kind of going back and forth, but I have a take profit set. I have a stop profit set. So I can switch screens comfortably and not feel like I am missing out on any action here, okay? But if we hop over here, like this is actually searching. We'll put this right here. Giggles. Okay, so over here on NVIDIA, as I mentioned, it is in a buy, all right? So if any of you entered into NVIDIA this morning at the open, yep, at 9:32 a.m., that would have been a nice little ride up, okay? Because that's almost about a $7 retracement basically going up. So that could have been a nice ride depending on what your entry point was. I did not get in because I was over here playing with the futures, but just wanted to give you guys this one signal. I know one of the other ones that we were eyeing, 𝐿F is currently in a buy signal, so I'm not sure if the whole market's starting to turn around, but NVIDIA is definitely, just from a couple of minutes ago, I was on there. Now it's only down 12 bucks. We did just receive a buy signal on 𝐿F as well, okay? So if any of you are interested in playing around with any of these companies that I'm mentioning, 𝐿F is currently in a buy. Shopify, who I am currently beefing with, okay, all right, Shopify. So Shopify is currently in this buy signal, all right? It is starting to reduce a lot of the losses that it had this morning as well. And let's take a look and see how Marriott is doing for anyone else that's currently in it. I'm checking the chat here. So we did receive a buy signal on Marriott as well, okay? So, can you scroll down just a little bit, or up, or the other way? Some way. All right, yeah, I'm in it. Okay, checking the chat. All right. Okay, I see. Okay. There we go. I'm still in. Okay, girl, I got out of Elf last week. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Elf and tripping. Okay, so Phyllis is still in Shopify, hoping that she does something good before my expiration date. Likely will. Okay. Okay, scroll across the bottom of the screen. I see y'all. The aesthetics are so good. Y'all are doing the thing. Don't forget us in the major networks called Come Calling. Will do. Won't forget is what I'm saying. Okay. Also, we have. Okay, it's gone. All right. So there was one more I wanted to see. Oh, HubSpot. Here we go. HubSpot. All right. So HubSpot. Let's take a quick look at that. Now, HubSpot. One second. HubSpot. Here we go. Okay, so it says BMO Capital actually adjusts HubSpot's price target to $710. It was previously at $540, Alexandra. So that news alone is very, very good news. Okay, so it's previously HubSpot previously had a price target of $540, and they just adjusted their price target to $710 a share. So that is a good sign. Now they are releasing, let's look at the day chart. They're releasing their earnings. Ooh, they're in a sell signal for the day. Just FYI, okay? They are releasing their earnings today after the closing bell, okay? Just a friendly reminder there. So today after the closing bell is when they will be releasing their earnings. As far as our 135, they are currently in a buy, okay? Looks like they are starting to rise a little bit here. It's kind of surprised to see that they're down so much today. They're currently down $19. We are in a buy signal for them. So could be a good time to potentially enter and make some money with HubSpot today in advance of their earnings tomorrow. This buy signal came through around 9:37. Okay, we also just got that buy signal as well on the 3. And then if we look at our 2 hour, they're probably still trending down. Yep, because the buy signal just came in. So it looks like for right now, there's a lot of upside potential. As far as the earnings, I'm not really sure. A lot of these tech companies aren't necessarily they're doing well, but they're doing well with their earnings, but it seems like a lot of their guidance for the next quarter, they're acting like they scared. I don't know. But it looks like there's likely some upside potential for HubSpot, but I would definitely look into that a little bit closer to the closing bell today, all right, because their earnings come out tomorrow, okay? But we are currently in a buy signal for them, so it looks like they're currently down about $18, $19, and they are starting to reduce some of those losses. If we go over here and look at NVIDIA, similar situation here. When we first started the show, NVIDIA was, excuse me, when we first started the show, NVIDIA was down about $20 a share. Now it's only down $10. So it is literally starting to retrace it and get back up, okay? We also just see another buy signal for NVIDIA at 9:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? So some of the ones that we're eyeing, they are starting to recoup some of the losses, which is really good. Actually, let me take a quick look at ELF. And I need to go check on my... okay, ELF had a buy, currently back in the sale. It can't figure it out. They don't know what it's doing. As far as is this the right account? Earnings, all right, not earnings, our futures. So I'm up about 152. Looks like it got me out of the trade. Looks like the stop loss triggered, not to take profit, but the stop loss triggered here. So still up for the day in futures, all right? We have some news today, right?
Let's check. What did you have in mind?
Wait, what?
For the news. You said we have some news.
What do I have in mind? I don't have no news. I was talking about, I feel like there's some news coming out today. Let me see. Let me double check. I think 8:30. Oh, it already came out. Okay, so we did have news that already came out. I'm taking a quick look here. And it looks like, okay, the news, okay, all right, cool. That's what I was trying to figure out. I know they were saying that there's supposed to be some news today, but that CPI news already came out this morning, okay? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah,
so let's take a look at Miss Suzanne was saying, don't forget, okay.
HWM for call options.
Yep, I'll take a look at HWM. And then Seesaw said Bitcoin down some from reaching 50K high. Yeah, that was very exciting news yesterday. All right, on, I actually want to see what Bitcoin is trading at right now. So Bitcoin is currently at 48,898. So it's down about 2% there. All right. So HWM for Miss Suzanne. Good morning, Miss Suzanne. Good to see you again. All right. So HWM. Awesome. Okay. Let me take a sip of water. 1 second, y'all. So HWM reported their earnings this morning before the opening bell. Looks like they did well. They did beat. They did about 1.73 billion for the quarter. Oh my gosh. Hashtag goals. Okay. 1.73 million for the quarter. All right. Their stock did immediately ride up. Let me know if you're currently in calls for this, Miss Suzanne, or if you're just looking to get into. So when they released their earnings, they were trading around $58.77. They got as high as $62.50. And then this sell signal came through at 8:30. And then it fell. And then we have this buy signal that came through at 9:37, and then it did rise. Then we have another sell signal that's happening literally right here, and then a buy. All right, so we did receive a buy, and now another sell. So it looks like this potentially could be some consolidating here, because as you can see, they've had some big runs up, big runs down, big runs up. So it looks like these buy and sell signals that we're getting in such a short time frame here are all a little bit of consolidation that's happening here. That's on a 1 minute chart. Let's take a look at their 3. On their 3, they're currently in a buy. On a 5, they're currently in a buy. And let's look a little bit further out. On the 2 hour, they're also in a buy. And on the day, they're also in a buy. So it looks like, Miss Suzanne, this stock has so much potential. As far as our our week chart here, this original buy signal for the week came through October 30th, and this was actually the last time that they reported their earnings. The last time they reported their earnings, they did very well, and they've literally been shooting up from this $43 to this $60. So it looks like there's a lot of opportunity, or some good upside opportunity for HWM. Okay, thank you for calling that out. HWM is Howmet Aerospace. Okay. We also, let me know if there's any others. I was just looking to get in. Yeah, if you're just looking to get in, the upside potential looks pretty good. We have buy signals on the, like I said, on the 1, 3, 5, and also the 15. So it looks like it's coming through right now. Yep. So yep, looks like you could get to make some profits there. Also wanted to highlight NVIDIA again, just because if anyone is trading that, we did just receive another buy signal here. That's on the 15 minute. On the 1 minute chart, we did have another buy signal that came through at 9:43. It's currently 9:49. So remember I said NVIDIA was currently down about $20 a share. Now it's only down $9. So that would literally be all profits to anyone that is in that trade. Let's take a quick look at Shopify, see what it's doing over here. All right, so Shopify has been getting a lot of its earnings back. The losses that it fell down. We had this buy signal that came through at 9:26 a.m. Okay, buy signal came through at 9:26, and it is been trending up ever since. All right, came through at 9:26, 9:53. So basically at 9:26. It was $77.30, and now it's trading at $82. Ooh, nice little ride up here on Shopify. I'm personally still negative in this trade, though, because I got into it yesterday. But if you were in it, good ride up. Okay, awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Pauline, for mentioning KO, which is Coca-Cola, because I feel like in my mind I kept saying Coca-Cola, but I literally just keep forgetting about it. So thank you so much, Miss Pauline. Good to see you. Welcome back. It's another episode of the Money Matrix. All right, so let's take a sip of this coffee, y'all. Hold on. Excuse me.
Oh.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I was just taking a sip of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Me too. I'm in a negative. We going up. Yep, we going up, Chris. So we patient. Now my daily ask for patience. See, in patience, I remember your names. I'm like, patience is so important. You as a person are important, but also just the feeling, the emotion of patience is important. So patience, this is your daily check-in. I ain't seen you this morning. Come on, girl. Bring that patience into the chat, okay? But let's go ahead and check out KO for Miss Pauline. Good morning again. Coca-Cola, I don't know why I keep forgetting about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, if I'm correct, didn't they just release their earnings? Yeah, they did. So Coca-Cola released their earnings this morning before the opening bell. They did beat their earnings. They were estimating $10.675 billion, and they ended up reporting $10.948 billion. Again, goals, okay? Shout out to Coca-Cola. I actually had a Coca-Cola yesterday. I did. And I don't even drink soda that open, but it was very refreshing. Not sure if they're still putting Coke in it. I think they stopped doing that, right?
No, they stopped that.
Need to stop that, okay. I'm like, it was pretty good. So, all right, so we have, as far as I mentioned, they released their earnings this morning. The stock did shoot up, quote unquote. It went up from about 9, or as low, really, as $58 to, where we at around here? $60 or so. Okay. Now currently I'm on the 1 minute chart. We are currently in a sale for Best Buy. Lord Jesus. For so random. For Coca-Cola, we're currently in a sales signal. The sales signal came through over here at 9:40 at the 9:41 bar. It's been trending down ever since. It looked like it's trying to start trending up right here. So we'll see how this bar closes and see if that turns into a buy. As far as our 3 minute chart goes, we're currently in a sale as well. Sale 135, and then 15 is entering this buy. So this one is probably about to enter turn this into a buy signal. It looks like we're about to get a buy signal on Coca-Cola. Let's take a quick look at the day while we wait for that to go. On the day chart, we're currently in a sale. On the week, we are currently in a buy. Okay, on the week chart. So it seems like Coca-Cola just isn't a stock that has tons of volatility. It's ranging really between this $54-ish to $63 range, or like a $10 range. Excuse me, a $10 range here that we are seeing. Okay. So yeah, that's Coca-Cola. Not sure if that was helpful at all, but it looks like Coca-Cola is trending down in general on the day chart and the week chart. But if we look at 1 minute, on our 1 minute, back on the 1 minute bar, looks like we're having a little bit of consolidation right here. It's trying to figure it out, and then sell signal here. So lots of selling pressure, definitely for sure for Coca-Cola. Not tons of excitement happening there. Okay. All right. Okay, so great. You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Pauline. All right, we
can hop into some Forex.
Awesome.
Look at some trades because we're approaching the 10 o'clock hour. Hourly bell. All the Forexes are green. Okay. All right, so checking out the Forex on the 1 hour. We are part of this buy signal from yesterday on the Great British Pound Japanese yen. Great. USD JPY. We're also up quite nicely on this call. Okay. And the USD Euro is on a buy signal that came in at 8 this morning. USD Great British Pound. We're also on the buy side to this. Excuse me. and trending up nicely from there, okay? So congratulations if you got into any of those Forex calls that we called on yesterday. Now let's walk through the rest of this watch list, okay? So we got a sell signal yesterday at 10:30 on BlackRock, right? No, today at 10:30, I'm sorry. So we could potentially sell on BlackRock, all right? IBM, also a sell at the top of at the opening bell. Okay, we're already in the Nancy long, and it did get a sell signal. So let's just go ahead and exit that, take our $91 off the table. Okay, thank you, because it did get that opposite signal. All right, sell side on Cruise at 9:30. So there are a couple of opportunities for some 9:30 signals for us to get ready to hop in here at 10 o'clock and get into some trades in a couple of minutes. So we will probably in the next, like, let's call it 60 seconds or 2 minutes, we'll start walking through here and putting in some sales. So we will get set up for a BlackRock short. Okay. .05%. Okay, so we'll risk 5%. And technically, you know, 5%, you know, we kind of teach this in the class, so I don't want to go too much in depth. You could join Wall Street Academy for that. But it's really 5% of your available cash balance, right? So if I wanted to risk 5% of 241 is essentially 480, right? No, 120, I'm sorry. Yeah, so if I wanted to risk 1,200 bucks, right? 10% of 240 is 120. Half of that is 60. So actually it'd be 600. Yeah. I'm sorry. 10% of 240,000 is 24,000. Half of that is 12,000. Yes. So if I wanted to, I could risk up to 12,000 and still be within my 5% rule. You see, it's under 4.97, 97%. So if I just wanted to risk 5%, it would set it at the correct amount, right? Okay. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, and then 10 units is $700 a share. So that's 7,000. So I would be risking 7,000 bucks. Enter that on the sell side again, but these stocks only move a penny at a time, so you have to multiply that out. All right, IBM, we got a sell as well. All right, so we go ahead, enter sell on IBM. Okay. IBM is trading at 183 bucks. So let's see if I wanted to do 1,000 shares of that. Okay. Sell IBM. Nancy did just get a sell, which is why we exited out of that buy trade. All right. Sell Nancy. Cruise also got a sell right at 9:30. We could sell Cruise. Okay. Twilio already was in a sell signal. Roblox already in a sell signal. So we do the pre-market analysis and we do our research and back testing and stuff like that you know, throughout the day, throughout the afternoon, pre-market, et cetera, whatever it is your routine. And then whatever it is your strategy is, you just go through and do your technical analysis based off of your strategy, enter into your trades. So all of the stuff in the back work and all of that stuff have been put into the algorithms, and we've simplified it just into simply buy or sell, and then trading and investing is personal. So you do your own risk management. All right. So congratulations for all the people who are in the Wall Street Academy learning these things. We'll go ahead and sell Novo. Who are learning these things. If you're not in the Wall Street Academy, feel free to click the link in the description and or scan that QR code. And you put in the money matrix and you get 50% off. Okay, or you could join our Discord community, absolutely free, get an air and be around like-minded individuals. Miss that sale. But if you're new to us, the key is learning, right? Because once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. Once you learn it, nobody can take it from you. Once you learn it, you have the tools and the ability to take your financial future in your own hands. All right. We did get that sale on JP Morgan. All right. All right. Lockheed Martin, we just got paid off of that. We got stopped out on our profit. Congratulations. Microsoft already in the sale. Palantir in the sale from the 930. Riot. Just got a sale at 930. Okay, Tesla already in a sale. The Spiders already in a sale. VTI already in a sale. Okay, so those are our active day trades for today that we got in. Okay, our 5% rules are set on all of them. Okay, and we will see what begins to transpire. So we shorted BlackRock, we shorted Palantir, we shorted Nancy, we shorted Cruise, went short IBM, and went short JP Morgan. Okay. All right. So we'll keep our eye on that. Right now, the P&L is negative 369. We'll keep our eye on that because we took that $7,000 off the table already for Netflix. Okay. All right. So those are our active trades for today. Selling BlackRock, selling Nancy, selling Cruise, selling IBM, and selling JP Morgan. Okay. All right. And Dominique, did you want to hop in anything? I just got into those trades actively. Those are active day trades.
Nice.
We are in the sell side on the ES. Okay. Up about 347 on that. We are in the buy side on the oil. On gasoline. Let's switch over. Okay. And we are in the sell side of oil. So sell side of crude oil futures, buy side of the ES, and the buy side of the gasoline. All right. So those are our overall trades for today.
Love it. Love it. How y'all feeling today on this
wonderful Tuesday?
Yeah.
Patience says, I'm trying to exercise a lot of patience on NVIDIA today. That's funny. Yeah, the market is down. So again, you guys, if you're not already in the trade, if you get a sell signal, it's okay to be sell side bias, right? Like you can get paid whether the market is going up or down. And that's one of the major things that I want everybody to know and to understand. This is why I say not being a bull and not being a bear, that makes you directionally biased. Like I don't give a shit what side the market is trading on and what side pays me, right? Like whatever side is showing the trend of the money, then we want to identify where the money is flowing and go with the trend. Like the trend is your friend. The key is you have to have a strategy or an edge or a tool to be able to help you gain some type of advantage on finding out where the overall trend is and which direction it's going. But saying like I only like to buy, or I only like to get calls, or I only like to sell, and I only like to get puts, it limits you, it limits your growth potential, and it limits your profit potential, okay?
Love it.
All right. I'm assuming they mean emphasize short, with a question mark. Not really sure what you want me to. If you could clarify that question for me, I might be able to go in a little bit deeper. But I also, again, recommend joining Wall Street Academy, where we actually teach the fundamentals and how to do what we do on a step-by-step basis, okay?
Patience says, I'm trying to exercise a lot of patience for NVIDIA today. Listen, right, so this is one of those days, right, where patience is key. But I will also say, one of the things you'll probably notice if you do look at the market for the whole year, there's typically more up days than there are down days. And so for me, I like to, any of the up days may not be substantially up, it'll be up a little teeny bit, but there's typically more up days and down days, which is why the S&P 500 returns on average 12% a year, right? Now, obviously, we make way more than that trading, but just to give you a little bit of confidence, I always like to re-inject that confidence into you guys. Also, as we do look, right, this is a down day. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a down week or a down month, right? But remember that there are opportunities, right? So even as I was over here trading futures, I was trading on the buy side and I was trading on the sell side, right? Looking for put opportunities as well. We are just approaching the 10 o'clock hour, and I don't know if the time is going real slow today, but that was a long-ass 30 minutes, okay? The market has only been open for 30 minutes. It's giving full market day vibes for me, okay? But the market has really been open for 30 minutes, so patience, right? Patience.
Yeah, and at the end of it also, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
It's just because some stocks are down and the overall market is down, doesn't mean that other stocks are not green. I want you guys to really, really know and understand that.
Well, nothing on my watch list is, but I agree.
Overall, we got paid off of Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, we just took $240 off the table from Lockheed Martin.
It definitely just
and
turned around, but I'm with you.
My point is everything is not down in the market, okay? So for an example.
Yeah, I'm about to pull some up right now.
Energies was up, right? Yep. So if we want to look at the energy sector, and let's say I go look at power. What was it? I think power is one. What? No. Any of the energy markets, right? The energy markets may be up today, or we could look at crude oil WTI, right? So if I look at WTI and I look at the 1 hour, right? It just got to sell at 9:30, but for the from all of yesterday, it was trending up even when the rest of the market was going down, right? So the rest of the market started to tank at 1:30. Crude oil, WTI offshore was still going up, right? So it just got this sell signal at 9:30 when the whole market was selling off yesterday at 1:30, right? So if you know that some markets are inversely correlated, or some markets do the opposite of other markets, right? Then you can say, okay, well, if this market is down, it's a high probability that the other market is up, right? Defense stock, Lockheed Martin, again, the whole market tanked yesterday, right? Okay, so Lockheed Martin tanked a little bit yesterday too, but today, Lockheed Martin has been in a buy signal and it's up, almost $5, right? So everything else is down. Lockheed Martin is up. So if you know how to identify these things, if you know where the money resides, and if you have an edge, you can make money on any side of the market. And that's what I just wanted to encourage you all is just because you made money when something was going to the moon, don't mean you can't make money when something is tanking.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's how I was gonna just remind you guys, and then I want to share my screen as well, Del. But what I love about these days, sometimes I tend to double down a little bit sometimes, right? Because a lot of these things, you see the swing, right? If you've been in the market for a while, even for a couple months, you see any chart you go look at, it's gonna go, it goes like this. It goes like this. The time frame may change, but it typically goes like this. I also wanted to, as Dion mentioned, that there's some stuff that's up, right? So I just wanted to pull some stuff, a couple stocks that are actually up. All right, just to give y'all some hope for people that get a little nervous during down days. But I challenge all of you today on a down day to look for a put opportunity or look for a short opportunity or sell opportunity, something to make money when it goes down. Because let me tell you something, that's a liberating thing. Keep it 100 with you. But here's a list right here of a few companies that are actually up today. Remember earlier during our market news segment, we did talk about Waste Management was up today. As he mentioned, Lockheed Martin was up today. These are people that are still literally up, right? So we have a couple that we may recognize. Zoom Info is actually up 7.74%. TripAdvisor is up 12.83%. JetBlue is up 12.85%. So they did hold that jump up that they had. We also have Kellogg, all right, ProCaps, Gen Medical, all up. Look, Larimar Therapeutics is up almost 40% today, right? So here's a bunch of stocks that are actually up today. All right, so wanted to highlight that as well. It was something else. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about really quickly as we're looking for opportunities heading into the next few days. Now, as I remember, we do still have a lot of earnings that are happening this week. One of the ones I'm actually interested, I'm really interested, I don't think I'm gonna play with it, but I am interested to see how it's going to do is Robinhood, which is a platform that many of us trade on, but the stock itself is just, I don't like to call it trash, but but we do have Robinhood actually releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. So today after the closing bell, we have Upstart, we have Airbnb, Robinhood, Lyft, MGM Resorts, and AIG and Zillow Group, and Instacart, all releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. So lots of up or down opportunities there for big swings. So I wanted to highlight that. Really interested in Robinhood and Lyft to see if Lyft moves like Uber. But as we were talking about, Uber just doesn't have all the different business entities that what just happened? My whole little page crashed. What's going on? Whole page done disappeared, y'all. Okay. Anyway, Lyft doesn't have all the different business. Yeah, it's so random. The one page just crashed. Lyft doesn't have all the business units that Uber has, right? With Uber having, Uber Eats, right? And now they have the alcohol division, and they're delivering groceries and all these things. With Lyft, all you can do is Lyft, get your little Lyft ride. And Lyft, to me, service is nowhere near as great as Uber, to be honest, my personal preference. So I'll see if I can pull that list back up for you guys. Not sure why it went away. Did you see it just like disappeared? I don't even know what is going on today. But we'll try to get that back up. Okay, here we go. We have it back up. Just want to finish highlighting a couple of those, okay? So we have, as I mentioned, Lyft, Robinhood, Airbnb, Upstart, all today after the closing bell, and also MGM Resorts, AIG, Zillow Group, Instacart going into tomorrow. Kraft Heinz, we all love a little catch-up situation, okay? Sony as well, also Ryder, Sun & Co., And then Twilio also today after the closing bell, tomorrow after the closing bell, Yeti, Upwork, Roku, Coinbase, DraftKings, Crocs, Oatly. So lots of opportunity this week as we look at the market. I wanted to actually see how, who was it I was just thinking about? Avis. I want to see how the rental car market been doing. So let's take a quick look at Avis. Coca-Cola is starting to trend up, just FYI. Miss Suzanne, we did just receive a buy signal on Coca-Cola at 10:08. Just FYI, Miss Suzanne, okay? Sunoco. What's going on with Sunoco? Who did I just mention? Yeah, I forgot already. I was coming over here to check. Oh, Avis. Avis.
Rental cars.
Avis Budget Group. Okay, so they released their earnings. Ooh, or Avis. Okay, so Avis ain't doing that well, y'all. Y'all not renting cars. Like, what's going on? Y'all go rent some cars with Avis. They struggle juggling. All right, so they released their earnings and they are down about 17%, almost $30. All right, so Avis had a nice little sharp fall right here, and they just had a new sell signal that came on them. Is anyone in this Avis trade? I don't know, but it's falling more. It's just falling. That's Avis. I like Avis too. They're good. I actually prefer Hertz, but anyway. All right, so let's look at Sunoco making more. Okay, Tiffany said making more this morning, loving this direction. Hey, I love it. Good job, Tiffany. Like, listen, we can do it up, down, all around. I can do what we do. Listen, if y'all just got into this sell signal just in this little minute that I was talking, Avis done fell another $2 or so. It looks like their ticker symbol is CAR. It's a good ticker symbol.
That is.
Okay. Let's take a look at Sunoco. Really, that's for Miss Pauline. Miss asked about, okay, oh, they struggling. Okay, Sunoco. Okay, Sunoco. Ooh. Thinking about yesterday when it was like, what was it they wrote? KWTW. Remember I think it was Colleen or somebody, or maybe it's Carissa. She wrote,
said, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was here like, I see that ticker symbol. Oh my gosh, I felt so silly.
That's funny.
Sunoco is excuse me, Sunoco is their earnings come out tomorrow, okay? Let's look at the day chart. So they come out tomorrow morning tomorrow morning before the opening bell. They're currently in a buy, all right? On the day chart, they're currently in the buy for Sunoco. If we look at our 1-minute chart and our 1-minute chart, you can see we currently have a buy signal. Sunoco is trending up. It's currently down about 28 cents. But it is, Colleen trying to trick me, talking about some TYSM. I'm like, oh, that ain't invalid signal, girl. I don't see that. I feel so old, okay? When that happened, I was like, wow, Colleen.
It's like, what the young kids be saying? What the young folks be saying?
I couldn't even say it back as well. I'm like, what was it? TWX? Like, Lord, Dominique, get hip. What's going on? All right, so Sunoco on the flip side, it's currently in a buy signal. It is trending up. Shout out to Sunoco. Looks like it's giving us some good buy side potential here. Looking at our 1-minute chart, 3 and 5 all trending up. Also want to highlight NVIDIA. If anyone is currently in the NVIDIA trade, NVIDIA is starting to trend up. This buy signal came through at 933. It's literally been trending up ever since then. As I mentioned, when the market opened, NVIDIA was down $20 a share. Now it's only down $5, so that's $15, okay? And so if you got into NVIDIA this morning, the stock itself was up $15. That's a hell of a run up. That's a beautiful, beautiful run up if you were able to take advantage of that opportunity, okay? Colleen said that was Carissa, I think, but I asked about TMUS at the same time, added to the confusion. Yes, y'all had Dominique over here super confused, okay? So confused, and like, we're trying to wrangle children. Somebody talk about TMUS, somebody talk about TISIM. Like, what are y'all talking about? English, people, English. It was you, Carissa. Dominique's funny for that. No, you were funny, trying to trick me. I'm like, now I gotta what they put it in your Urban Dictionary. What did TYSM, right? So funny. Gotta get hipper. I gotta get hipper. Okay. But now I know that. I definitely can't wait to text somebody some TYSM like that.
I wanted to call out some news that just came through. It said that 6 out of the 30 on the Dow Jones are positive. So the Dow Jones is made up of 30 of the top stocks that they rank, however they rank them. Okay, 24 of them are selling off. The Dow is down 500 points. But 6 of them are green. So that just kind of comes back to what I was saying, is that every day, some markets are going to be up and some markets are going to be down. Some stocks are going to be up, some stocks are going to be down. It's high probability, unless the economy, market, world is crashing, it's a high probability that not all stocks are going to be down. So for an example, a lot of people remember September 11th as a very negative day, but a lot of people made billions of dollars off of shorting airline stocks, shorting cruise lines, and shorting hotels because they knew a lot of people were not going to be traveling, right? So they took the negative of that information and turned it into a positive and made billions of dollars. Same thing when the Rona hit. When the Rona first hit, hotels, casinos, stocks, hotels, casinos, and cruise ship stocks tanked, right? And people were able to make a lot of money off of that. But pharmaceutical companies, their stocks rose and went through the roof and went to all-time highs because people were running to the stores and buying up different types of drugs to try to protect themselves, okay? So data is just data. Information is just information. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It just is what it is. And now it's up to you how to process that data based off of what information you have, what lens you're looking at some things, and the perspective. This is why having a market neutral approach will put you in the best position to run it up over time.
Yeah, and we're getting some great buy side pressure here for NVIDIA. Want to highlight that now it's only down $2.75, so it's literally went up almost $20 today. I see that Miss Rita here is riding Miss No One Spot Diva is riding WM up. All right, they're currently riding WM up. Awesome. So that's wealth management. Trash is still paying off. Colleen said, "Do you think Avis will rebound?" Carissa said, "Khalidra, leave Avis alone. They struggling, girl. Avis really is struggling. Bless their heart. All right. NVIDIA is turning around beautifully, doing like we needed to do. If you rode the ride down, it's a good time to probably exit, or if you rode it back up, down or up, whatever way you rode it, it should be doing well. For Colleen, listen, I'm with Chris on this one. Avis really is struggling. It really is. This sales signal is long, it's strong, it's hard. It ain't letting up. We have currently, now the market might be turning around a little bit, but we do have a buy signal that just came through. So proceed with caution. I would say that if it can erase this $20 gains, girl, you will be smiling. Okay. So we did just receive a buy signal. So if you would like to enter now, could be some good opportunity. I would say just keep your eyes open for it to potentially start going back down, but hopefully it can. Let me get a pen real quick. Thanks. Like a pen, pen.
No, a pen for.
I want to write something down. I want to make a note. Jesus, can I make a note? Okay. So, because I'm not forgetting stuff. I need to write it down. But yes, this buy signal on this Avis could pan out. Okay, could pan out here. So even if it's currently down here, where is it at 138.37, if it can get back up here to where it was about an hour ago, to this 148, all right, we might want to play with Avis. We might want to play. Looks like it actually may. We'll see how this next bar turns out. But NVIDIA, since I know many of us are in it, oh my gosh, it's about to go positive. Oh, is playing, it's consolidating. Oh, it was only down 2 cents. And there we go. Yay, now it's up. Oh, now it's playing with us. All right, so it is consolidating back and forth, but this has been a beautiful ride, as you guys can see. Looking at this 1 minute chart, I see over there, Odell, okay, option going positive, whole off is lit, money matrix off is lit. All right, so I want to just highlight, look at the volatility of these. This is why I love the stock market, okay? Because we wrote it down, we ride it up, okay? So right here, what is it, Tuesday, we had this buy signal that came through at 9:32, but look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA was down all night, right? We got this sell signal and it just boom, 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 boom. It fell from $721 to $721, went down as low as $696, and now it is literally back up to $721. This is today. This is just today, okay? Talk about bipolar, okay? This stock is literally, it did a whole little smile. Look at that, y'all. We have a smile in this chart. I'm gonna call this the smile
of money.
Of money. I like that. I was trying to come up with something a little more sophisticated, but you know, that's cool. Anyway, so as you can see, we're currently in this buy. It is trending up, all right? So very, very exciting there for anyone that is in NVIDIA like myself, because woo, that down was downing, okay? Now let's see if any of our other stocks are actually trending up. So NVIDIA is doing what we needed to do. Go ahead, NVIDIA, thank you for giving us our coins back for all of us that have been in there since yesterday. Let's see if Shopify is doing anything, if Shopify loves me at all. Not as much as NVIDIA, clearly. All right, so buy, right, we did get this buy at 9:26 a.m. on Shopify. It did ride up a little bit, about $5-6 or whatever, and then it's doing a little sell off again. Come on, man, Shopify, shoot, hurry up. All right, because I had plenty of call options on Shopify, and okay, it ain't doing good. All right, okay. Oh yes, Colleen, I love that. The green grin. I love that. Okay, but maybe we also have like a red grin too, because we're not biased, right? But I like the green grin. I'm supporting that, Colleen. So maybe the other one when it's down is like the sad, the pouty profit. Ooh, okay. Write that down. So we got the pouty profit. Write that down because we need to trademark it. And then the green grin, okay?
That's funny.
Boom. Those are going to be the name of our cocktails at our upcoming event that we're having, that we're going to be announcing, I think, by tomorrow. Here we go. Can I get that pouty profit? That's going to be old fashioned. And the green grin will be like a nice apple martini or something. Or maybe a mojito. Okay.
I don't drink either one of those, but
you do?
Old fashioned? You said mojito, apple martini.
Colleen, you love it. The profit pout, that's cute. Pout, love it. Love it. Write that down too. All right, so NVIDIA did finally go green. It's actually up 43 cents, not tons of green. But it is going up, okay? Exciting news. Seesaw, Shop, and Riot got my portfolio looking sick. Sometimes portfolios be looking a little bleak, like it need a little vitamin C, but it's cool because
that's where stop losses and risk management come in, right? And patience. So you can minimize the losses and or ride the rides back up, right? So
go ahead, NVIDIA. Go on, baby.
We can see she actually really loves NVIDIA.
I like the money that it produces.
It's like it's crazy. It's like, because you don't want to be too emotionally attached to the money and stuff like that.
You don't.
But I do see and understand why people make the association with this to gambling, or if you're in Vegas, you sitting, you're around the crap table and somebody get hot and the whole table lit because they ride with them.
It also reminds me of the races, like the racetrack.
Or the horse races.
All right, there you go. NVIDIA, come around the corner. Yes.
So if you're watching the Super Bowl,
I'll be lit for no reason.
And when you're watching a game, you have way more involvement or emotional attachment if you got money on the game, right? So every play matters. So I definitely get it. But for me, I have taken tremendous losses to learn to get to where we are, but also some amazing wins, right? And so I encourage you to be as even keel as possible. Celebrate the wins though, right? Like when you winning, turn up, celebrate the wins. It helps close that psychological feedback loop. Because, you know, I've had some red days and I've had some green days.
What's that?
And I've literally had some green days right after red days or red days right after green days.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll change your approach.
My good days outweigh my bad days. And for that, I won't complain. Amen. Hallelujah. God is good.
Hit the organ.
All right. Right? God is good. He'll never put more on you than you can bear. Amen. Hallelujah. My good days outweigh my bad days.
Somebody cue the music.
And where is the organ?
Let's go.
I won't complain. Okay.
Preach now, preacher.
All right, Kristen said, I'm with Dominique. The video keep my portfolio off life support. Hallelujah. Amen.
Preach.
Seesaw said, price action is the ball in football. Yes, it is, Lord.
Yeah.
Dolly says, instead of blowing on your dice at the craft table, blow on your mouse. Y'all funny today. Yeah, right. Can we get an amen? Thank you, Chris, Angela. Amen.
Yes.
We're going to have that testimony tomorrow morning.
Yes.
God is good. Odell, can we get the organ?
No. Please don't do nothing we don't already have. I'm not going to mess up. No audio, no visual. We've been having some good shows, getting out the kinks. Let's keep it simple, okay?
Yeah. Káli's where his strongest soldiers. Amen. He is.
What they say, give you the strongest test to the strongest.
Listen, I'll never forget. My homeboy had posted this thing on Instagram. He on the phone like this. He like calling Jesus to make sure I ain't on his strongest soldier list for 2024.
Right, yeah.
We did that in 2023.
Yeah, put me on the.
Soldiers don't get no breaks. Good Lord.
Put me on the highway to heaven train for 2024.
I love that. All right, NVIDIA, amen. Thank you, God is good. Thank you, God.
Yes.
All
okay,
right.
so looking over into the futures market. So we see some retracement here. NASDAQ had been tanking. We've seen some quality support around 17,647. And that's what I was saying was, so we can see here, this support really started around a little bit under that first standard deviation. And that's what I was saying earlier in the morning. I was saying, as it tanks down, I want to see if this first standard deviation starts to show as a support area and they build it back up to the VWAP. And that's literally what they have done. It got a little bit around the second standard deviation, but primarily here around that first standard deviation. And it got some support and began to push it up to the VWAP. And because a lot of people think, okay, they tanked the market yesterday afternoon, they tanked the market this morning in the London session, a lot of people might say, okay, this is an undervalued opportunity for us to get in. I think the market is going to go up. And that standard deviation shows that mathematically. So being able to have a data-driven point to say, okay, cool, this may be a good area to go ahead and come on in, right? And so that's what they did. Now, again, we still got the afternoon session. So the overall day was still in a buy. The 1 hour and the 2 hour was in a sell, and we could see clearly that the 1 hour is starting to get some support. So maybe at the top of the hour, you may get a buy signal at 11. Obviously, the show will be over by then, but something to keep the eye on. Now with the energies we had our eye on, we were buy-side bias on the energies, because that was really the only thing that was trending up, but it did get a sell signal at 9 o'clock on the 1 hour. And then gold, still in the middle of a sell-off, and the interest rates are still in the middle of a sell-off. So interest rates selling, gold selling, energy's starting to sell off, and then the equities starting to get a little support here, okay? So we will keep our eyes on those. As far as our Forex trades, let's see where we at on the Forex trades. Still up, riding the ride on Great British Pound JPY. Still up on US dollar Great British Pound, and still up on USD JPY. So still in those three trades, still riding them to the upside. Okay. Bitcoin, all right, at 48,908. So getting a little bit of resistance here in Bitcoin since it hit that 50K. We did get stopped out. We didn't enter another crypto trade just yet. So we'll keep our eye on some quality entry points and see where there may be some support and resistance on the crypto side. It is in the middle of a sell-off. We missed the ride because it happened while we wasn't in the show. So we will wait for the next signal, which seems to be a buy, right? So we'll wait on those, okay? Lisa Wilson said, this is a very long-term question, but do you all have any thoughts about the drug costs doing research on psychedelics for mental health with the rumors the FDA might approve? So if you've been with us for a couple of years, I literally gave a pharmaceutical watch list of stocks that were literally, most were under $5 to $10, okay? And all of these companies were focused on next-gen medical solutions. So microdosing, psychedelics, LSD, all of those things that people are starting to find technological breakthroughs to use for health. And that portfolio is up like over 1,000%. So if you're still holding those, congratulations. I know that was like 3 years ago when I gave that out. But yeah, I mean, as far as the stocks, I'm very bullish on that technology. That's going to be $1 trillion market cap. Like, it's no question. Like, just look at the pharmaceutical industry, right? And because it's less stigma with those other drugs, because they're more pharmaceutical than cannabis, quick history lesson, cannabis has always been a battle throughout the world because cannabis can also be used to create paper, right? And so the people who owned and controlled the paper, papyrus farmers and all that stuff of the day, they won the battle of allowing to legalize cannabis hundreds of years ago, even just the use of it, because it would have destroyed the paper industry. And so with that, the cannabis industry has been fighting for years, right? And then it began to get a negative connotation of smoking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And so if you notice, ketamine, LSD, shrooms, and a lot of that stuff is, in my opinion, probably going to have a easier track to get approved because they come more from the medical side than cannabis did. And so with that, it's going to be a substantial amount of money inflowing into those markets. Then the other thing is the tech industry is very famous for microdosing and taking a lot of drugs in general, right? Like out at Burning Man, or they have these big stories about the drug usage in Silicon Valley and stuff like that. And since that is the case, Silicon Valley is designing the future of the world. If you think of all the things that we're doing in the world, a lot of that is being decided by the tech companies. And these people are very pro drugs, they're very pro microdosing, and that's going to drive up the revenue of these companies, in my opinion, from a bigger picture long term. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Chris said, for the newbies, can you give it again or post it in Discord? maybe I will do it for the Wall Street Academy family, for everybody that's in Wall Street Academy, because I don't like giving out information or algos or things like that that I don't necessarily stand by and have done thorough research and feel comfortable with putting out. So with that, you know, for some of those things that we do have, we want to give it out to the communities that believe in us, support us, take the courses and learn, because I also want you to know why you are doing something, right? Just to be doing something, just to be doing something and not knowing why you're doing it is very risky, right? Like, I'm an algorithmic trader, and when I trade humanly and manually, I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? Because the data shows me that over time, the algos outperform me, and I'm a relatively good human trader at times, right? Because I was able to do that and gain some success and then use that into the algos. But over time, they're just not emotional. They're not biased. They stick to the rules, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anything that we release that we've done a lot of time, energy, effort, and put resources into will go to the Wall Street Academy first, and to our communities, the people who are paying and subscribing and all of that stuff, because I just think that that's the right thing to do, because they also cut the check. But then also, right, because those are also the people that have been with us the longest, right? Okay, so Vanessa says, are you going to reshare that list? That's the same thing pretty much Chris said. Lisa said, yes, I agree. Thanks. I don't have much, but I do have a little. I didn't know that you gave that list, but I'm a social worker and it's all the talk right now, mental health. So thinking about buying more. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that's why I say I think it's going to have an easier track to get approved, because you got the medical industry, you got the psychiatric or psychological industry, and you have the drug industry, right? And the pharmaceutical industry. So you have 4 that are pretty much pro pushing this stuff, and obviously they're going to have some type of financial incentive, where you only may have, you know, the weed or the drug industry for the cannabis industry, right? And so that's why it's been taking a lot longer, and it just has a negative connotation. And you think America is also a very publicly Christian country, and then you got the Bible Belt and all of that stuff, and so it's been harder to get those voters on the other side of legalizing cannabis. Okay. Lisa said, thank you. Chris says, okay, I'm in the academy. Great. All right. Shout out to you, Chris. Carissa said, you're not right, Dion, but has a fair point. Too much risk involved. Yep. I'm learning to be less emotional. Vanessa said, yeah, I think about it like this, y'all. If we don't put the time, energy, and effort and resources into doing our own research as well for our own money, right? And then for the people who believe in us and trust us to teach them or show them or trade for them and stuff like that, then we wouldn't be doing you all a service, right? We wouldn't be doing you all justice, right? So I don't think that that's fair, right? And I wouldn't do that with my money. So I'm definitely not going to do it with you all, right? So that's the other thing. Then lastly, for the people who pay to be a part of our programs and pay to learn, right? Shouldn't they get the access and the exclusives, or at least the access to the exclusives first, right? So, you know, that's why we do what we do in general, because as you guys see, we could literally just sit in our pajamas in bed every day, click a couple buttons, make our money, and nobody even know who we are, right? So, you know, we really do this for the people, because as you've seen, we've pretty much had green days and green weeks ever since we started the show, and showing you that we literally do this every day in real life. So I think it's important to really understand that what we do really is for the people when it comes to this show and it comes to, you know, WSA. And so with that in mind, we always want to take the approach of let's do our best and let's do the things that we would do for ourselves. And if not, then we don't put it out. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, all right. Will says, can we look at IBM again? Okay, so we're looking at IBM. We took a short position off of that sale at 930. It has retraced. We're down 460, 470 on that. but we still didn't get a buy signal. So I really trade from signal to signal or to my stop loss. So my stop loss is already preset. We can see it right there, and I haven't got a signal. Now, we may get a signal at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock, but until then, everybody, this is where patience, self-control, and discipline comes in as well. I already predefined my risk before I got into the trade. I'm not gonna risk more than my 5% in there. And then I'll wait to get a signal, right? If I lose, tip my cap. If I win, run it up. You know what I'm saying? So those are important no matter what we're doing. We've taken about, let's call it $15,000 off the table in the last 2 weeks of running this show. So if I have a red day or if I have a trade that's negative, as long as I'm sticking to the rules, then it's cool. Hopefully that makes sense, everybody. Okay? All right, so NVIDIA is up $8.30. So I know somebody is going to be happy in here. The whole office is lit, everybody in NVIDIA. So it was down. It was down about 10.
You could be up almost $30 a share in that trade.
Nice, 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 nice. Okay.
What? Okay. All right. So, yeah, so NVIDIA is currently up $10.16. Shopify is struggling, you guys. Hold on. Ooh. All right, so Shopify is still struggling. All right, NVIDIA is currently up at $9.35. I love it. I love it. Carissa said, we up right now, NVIDIA. Thanks for staying put. Can you look at IBM again as it is?
I already did that.
Oh, you did that? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we caught up. All right, so right now, as I mentioned, really keeping our eye on NVIDIA. Also, AMD also has been trending up. I know some of us are, well, personally, are still in calls. Oh, I got an Apple. Hold on.
Do you have an Apple?
Mm-hmm. I just ate an apple, and like every now and then I have like allergic reactions to apple. It's, yeah. Anyway.
I think you have an allergic reaction?
A little bit. Hold on.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we got 12 more minutes. You want to go get some Benadryl?
Mm-mm. It's gotta flush it out.
Okay.
So anyway, so AMD is currently in a buy. All right, we had 2 buy signals that came through. One at 10:18, the other one came through at 10:36. It's been trending up. It had a slight downturn, been trending up ever since. So that's been really good. NVIDIA is up, as I mentioned, about $8.42, up $8.42, after currently being down $30 or so. Lisa said, Krista said, if you can't get a whole share, you better grab a piece. I know that's right. Lisa said, I'm glad my expiration date on shop is 3/15. Exactly. Me too. Listen, that's my favorite key or hack. Just give the option a little time. Give it a little patience, right? Give it a little time, give it a little patience, and it'll bounce back, okay? Kali said, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment, right? Awesome. Yes. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. It's like not a lot, but some, not a lot. Some things are starting to rebound, specifically NVIDIA. I never know what drives NVIDIA to have these big swings up or down. You know, you really don't know. Shopify gonna need a lot of time. I'm actually a little annoyed with Shopify right now. I ain't gonna hold you, but you know, hey, let's look at NVIDIA again. So right now, NVIDIA is currently in this buy signal. Very excited. It looked like it had a sell signal that was trying to come. Looks like we're getting a little bit of consolidation or hitting maybe some resistance as it is approaching a new high. Maybe? Is it? NVIDIA, come on, baby. I think it actually is approaching. Look at the day chart. It looks like it actually might be approaching a new high here. If we look at I think it is. I think it's actually hitting a first-time high today. It is. Wow. It just briefly touched 745. And wow, I think that's another new all-time high. And it is slowly inching towards this $800, okay? Very, very exciting there to see stocks hit not just 52-week highs, but to hit all-time highs. So that is still currently trending up there. This is the day chart that I'm currently looking at, but on the 1 minute chart, we tried to have some, it's trying to get a little bit of selling pressure here, but looks like it is still continuing to trend up, and that buy signal is still active and still valid, okay? We'll take a quick look at Shopify. It ain't doing any, maybe getting on my nerves. Like, it's so frustrating when a stock does well, very well. A company does very well. They hit their earnings, and then they still fall. All right, so we received another sell signal on Shopify. We had this buy signal where it did start to trend up. It just didn't get up as high as we needed it to go to get a lot of the gains, to get a lot of the dip that we saw. As you can see, Shopify, if we look at the day chart here, it did trend up, but it's still just, it's just not going where we need it to go. So it's in the sell signal for the day. Obviously makes sense, right? It's currently still down about $8.30, but it's not as low as it was earlier. Okay, so we do hope that does start to trend up. Yeah, it's going to need some time, but you'd be surprised, Chris. It may not need a lot of time. Like something like that could literally rebound tonight while we're sleeping. It could rebound tomorrow. So those specific trades, you know, the patience is definitely going to be key for sure. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Let's take a quick look at Hood. Ticker symbol Hood, stock Robinhood. They're releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. Okay. Is it today? Yep, I think it's today. Yep, today after the closing bell. They've been struggling a little bit. Robinhood, there's been a dip in users quarter over quarter for them. But I think from what I've read somewhere that they're kind of bullish on their Q4 earnings. There's starting to be an uptick again amongst traders traders and investors utilizing Robinhood. So there are a lot of bullish indicators for Robinhood, but I don't know if I'm gonna touch it. But I know I've actually owned a bunch of shares in Robinhood, but we are currently in a buy signal currently. They're trading around $11.78, so they're down about 22 cents. But this buy signal came through. Oh, I'm on the day chart. On the day chart, they're on buy. But if I go to the 1 minute, we also just had a buy signal that came. What time is it? Yeah, 10:51. We had a buy signal that came through at 10:51. It is starting to trend up here for the last 3 minutes or so. And then looks like we have another buy just came through on the 3 minutes. Right now Hood is still currently trending up. The analysts are saying that it's a lot of bullish activity anticipated, or bullish technicals for when they do the technical analysis for Robinhood after their earnings, but we'll see. Don't put your life savings in Robinhood, okay? Another one that we have that's releasing their earnings is Upstart. All right, Upstart is releasing their earnings. Today? Refresh my chart here. Okay, so Robinhood is releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. We have a buy signal that just came through on the day chart. They've been in a buy signal since February the 8th. On our 1 minute chart, they're in a buy, and then 3, and then 5, they're in a buy. So they are trending up right now. They're currently down, but they are starting to trend up. So could be some opportunity there. The stock declines. Yeah, so we'll see how Upstart fares. But those are a few of the companies that we have that are on track to release their earnings today after the closing bell. I'll take a look to see if there's anybody else major. You want to take it over for a second that I missed, but Airbnb and let me do them real quick, and then I'll switch over. Airbnb is another one. So currently we have Upstart, Airbnb. So Airbnb, I'm on the 5-minute chart. So Airbnb releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. We have a lot of companies releasing their earnings today after the closing bell. All right, so Airbnb is currently trading around $151.81. All right, they had a buy signal that came through this morning at 10:18. Tomorrow, we have currently we are in a sales signal right here. Looks like it might be a slight sell, but we are currently in a sales signal right here for Airbnb, and it's currently down about $2.12. The other one was Lyft. Okay, so Lyft is on track to release their earnings. It says Lyft gears up for Q4 print. These most okay. Uber. Oh Lord, hold up. Ain't nobody got time. See people. Jesus. Okay, so apparently Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash drivers are planning to strike on Valentine's Day for fair pay. So, you know, smart for them. That's a good day to pick. Ain't nobody gonna be able to get nowhere or get food. I know we probably use Uber Eats more than anything. So just be prepared if anyone's planning a dinner in. There is a strike plan for Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash drivers. So they will be striking tomorrow. Not sure if it's gonna be happening everywhere, but could be a delay with your food or your ride. Okay, but Lyft is currently trading around $12.05. They're actually down about 35 cents. We are currently in a buy signal right now for Lyft. It just came through at 10:53. So it is starting to trend up a little bit here on the 1 minute and also on the 3 and on the 5. So it is trending up here for Lyft, okay? So that's another one. And before I hand it over to Dion for his Keep the Buck segment, I just want to highlight really quickly, NVIDIA did receive a sell signal on the 1 minute chart. Remember, it was previously up about $9 a share. Now it is only up $6 to $7. It's kind of trending back and forth. So keep your eyes on that if you're currently profitable or maybe want to potentially exit. No mind, it's only almost 11 o'clock, but just wanted to just tell you guys about that sales signal that came through. All right, Dion, help us keep it a buck.
We have to work on these
Segues.
segments and segues and transitions.
You like that transition?
No. I just said we got to work on them in general. I think I'm a optimization person, so how we need to continue to make the show better to get it kind of where we really wanted to. But no, I was just saying in general. Make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, everybody, for our Keep It a Buck segment for today. So you don't buy things with money, okay? What you use to buy things is the time it takes you to make that money, okay? And so with that with that understanding, it will change your relationship with money. So let me say that again. You don't spend money, or you don't use money to buy things. You use or spend the time that it takes you to make that money, okay? And what that's going to help you understand and realize is the value of time even more. And I'll give you a real life example. When I had my first corporate job, I was actually in DC. I was working at ADP, and I was doing outside business to business sales for ADP. This is way before I started trading, way before I got licensed, all of that stuff. And I used to wear suits a lot. And one of my side hustles is I would literally go to affluent communities and rich neighborhoods, and I would go to these high-end estate sales, or I would go to their high-end thrift shops, and I would buy these luxury brand name suits for myself in general in the beginning, but then I was getting them for like $5, $10. It'd be like Gucci, Hermes, it would be, Yves Saint Laurent, it would be just some really good suits. And because the people were dying, and they got full closets and stuff like that, right? And I would take these suits, and I was like, man, I could sell these suits. I would take these suits, and I set up a table at the Georgetown Flea Market. And I would literally sell these suits for $100, $200, $300 that I was just getting for $5 to $10, right? And so it took me time, energy, and effort to go to these estate sales, go and set up the table at the Georgetown Flea. But what happened was I started to shift my mindset as an entrepreneur on how I was spending my personal money. And I would look at, because I used to go on a lot of dates, or I would go out, I would always be outside, and I would look and say, okay, well, this date just cost me $200. Well, that $200 could have bought me X amount of suits, and that X amount of suits could have brought me X amount of profit and return on my investment, right? And so I started looking at money differently, and I started looking at time differently. How much money and how much time does it take me to put this initial investment in, and how much of a return does that actually bring me back? So when you start looking at what you're doing with your week, there's 168 hours in a week. Start breaking down what you're doing with your time and how much of that time is supposed to be used to make you money, and how much of that time is used to be able to capture return on investment from that time spent and or that money spent, okay? So you don't spend or use money to buy things. You use and spend your time. So make sure that you are managing your time properly and you're using it to be poured in more into things that will bring you positive return on investments for that time, energy, and effort than not, okay? So that is our Keeping It a Buck for today. Thank you guys for tuning in today to the Money Matrix. We really appreciate the love and support. If you are new, thank you for joining us. Click that subscribe button. Click the bell to make sure you receive notifications when we are live, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. Scan the QR code and join the free Discord community where most of our community is in there, talking it up, chopping it up, sharing wins, asking questions. All right. And then if you want to learn from us to do the things that we've done today and throughout the show, click the link or scan the QR code and join our Wall Street Academy trading and investing course for 50% off by putting the coupon code The Money Matrix, okay, or Money Matrix in all caps. All right.
Yep.
So
thank you guys so much again for tuning in, and
we will see you tomorrow. Love, light, peace, wealth, great health, and abundance to each of you guys.